giant humanoids, creepy remains, and some undeniable evidence of alien life.
Look how big it is. I don't think it is a human.
Virginia man claims he spotted Bigfoot and he has the video to prove it.
What? Shh. What is that noise?
We would hear something running on our right, and then we would hear something running on our left, and it stopped real quick. And then Dad looked up at up there at the tree, and he's like, oh, I see something.
Caves hide shocking secrets that remained hidden from our eyes until now.
Look.
Dude, if you've seen what I've seen right now, there's a person standing there.
From the unbelievable giants to strange creatures lurking in the dark. I have gathered everything you need to know that shocked the whole world. Back in 2012, a skier in St. Elmo, Illinois had an unexpected run-in. He was cruising down the track when he came across a giant figure standing some distance away. It looked exactly like a Sasquatch, and for a moment both stared at each other unmoving. The big creature seemed just as stunned as the man, and then right before his eyes, the Bigfoot turned and made a run for the forest as if determined to remain hidden. As the video went viral, netizens suggested various theories. Many believed it was the real deal, while some thought it was a man donning a suit. But it really makes you think, why go to such lengths in this cold wilderness just for the sake of a prank? Giant spotted.
Seriously, look how big it is. I don't think it is a human.
A group of friends visiting Northeast Provo spotted this strange figure on the mountainside, sparking a whirlwind of speculation. Could it be Bigfoot?
Can't just see something that's maybe a once-in-a-century discovery.
Wanting to uncover the truth, two of them set off to investigate. Filming their journey, they stumbled upon tracks. But the question was, were they from a bear, a person, or something else entirely?
Was it a bear? Maybe. That's plausible. Was it a person? Also plausible. Was it something else? I think that's also plausible. Who knows?
Experts from the Natural History Museum of Utah dismissed the idea of Bigfoot, saying that such creatures don't fit into known biology. Could there be undiscovered creatures lurking in Utah's wilderness? Or was it just a wild story? Giant's hideout.
There have been unconfirmed reports that the giant Finn McCool has gone into winter hibernation.
Look.
This 2016 clip from Giant's Causeway, UK, accidentally started a series of serious investigations. It all started when a visitor exploring the natural reserve claimed to have recorded footage of a massive wall of rocks mysteriously opening and closing all on its own.
Look.
Online speculation quickly spread, with some suggesting it might have been a giant figure vanishing into the rocks, while others suggested the giant could be retreating into hibernation for the winter.
I would think he might need a long sleep after this busy summer season.
This led to a thorough investigation where each stone on the wall was carefully examined, but no conclusive evidence was uncovered. While it remains uncertain whether a giant resides there, the incident gathered a lot of visitors to the site. 9-foot skeletons. In 1974, a farmer in Sardinia found the head of a huge ancient statue while working on his field, leading to the discovery of the giants of Monte Prama. Massive, about 8 to 9 foot tall statues made by a mysterious ancient people.
The farmer started digging around it, brushing away the mud, pulled it out, and there was this giant stone head gazing back at him.
Over 5,000 pieces of these statues were found, showing detailed figures like archers and warriors.
They dug and they found over 5,000 fragments of these giant statues. We have archers, we have warriors, we have boxers.
Some believe these statues represent an actual race of giants. Local legends and ancient stories supported the theory. Sardinia also has strange burial sites called Giants' Tombs, where giant skeletons were reportedly found, though many of these remains have mysteriously disappeared. The missing remains left many to think it was a cover-up, while others thought there weren't any giants to begin with. Gigantic being. When a famous TikToker Andrew Dawson went on an adventure in Jasper National Park, Canada, he captured a giant on the top of a mountain and accidentally set off a series of odd incidents. Here you could see a dark bipedal creature he captured standing on the cliff edge.
What is it?
It's a person, dude. No, seriously, pull over, pull over.
No.
It's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, if you've seen what I've seen right now.
He also claimed to have encountered UFOs. At first, his videos were dismissed as a hoax and were stopped by authorities and government many times, but he persisted in trying to uncover the truth behind these entities.
You might not see me post ever again. My videos weren't fake.
And then, Andrew mysteriously passed away and raised more questions as people tried to understand what actually happened to him. Giant Troll. Trolls are mythical creatures from Northern Europe and tales of giant beings capable of devouring humans. This recent video left people speechless. A man set up a camera in a cave, hoping to capture something extraordinary, and he filmed a troll in action. They live in remote areas, near rocks, mountains, or caves. This one seemed to be the real deal, but netizens doubted the authenticity of the clip. I hope it's just someone in a costume or a digital creation. Dragon sighting. While exploring a cave, a guy stumbled upon a strange blob on the ground and skeletal remains of an unusual creature. He poked the blob with his foot, but couldn't figure out what it was. The more he looked, the more questions he had about who or what the remains belonged to. As he decided to leave, he suddenly spotted a giant horned beast in front of him. It vanished as quickly as it appeared. Terrified, he rushed out of the cave, convinced he might have seen a dragon taking refuge there. However, the sighting was too short for anything to be said for sure. Slender Giant. This recent video has captured the curiosity of many on the internet. Filmed on a hilltop, it showed a giant thin figure with incredibly long legs doing push-ups. The clip has left viewers puzzled about what it could be. Some suspected it was Slender Man showing off his workout routine, while others speculated it might be related to Bigfoot since they're known to live in secluded areas. But the figure's true identity remains a mystery. A similar sight was captured in Peru when a family spotted two giant humanoid figures standing on top of a mountain. Not ordinary humans, but towering giants. Even from a distance, the height difference between these entities and regular humans was striking. Many speculated that these figures could be extraterrestrial visitors, but the video's low quality left people doubtful. What's your take on this mysterious sighting? Bigfoot captured. A scary footage circulating online quickly became the talk of the town among the Bigfoot community, and for good reason. It featured an angry Sasquatch locked up in a steel cage, thrashing around and roaring at the top of its lungs. Its massive stature, realistic movements, and unimaginable strength made it near impossible to dismiss as a hoax, and people have even claimed that the original clip has been taken down from all social media platforms, suggesting secret government cover-ups. There were scientists all around the cage, many of them carrying tranquilizers. Looking at the big guy, I just hope it didn't escape or we're in for some real trouble. Creeping face. A family out on a hiking trip came across a very bizarre sight. When they came to a stop, they noticed that there was a huge hole in the middle of the mountain wall.
Claro, y hay una cara de...
Opening up their camera and zooming in, they found there was a humanoid face in that hole. Shocked by what they were seeing, they uploaded the clip online, and the internet erupted with theories left and right. Some said it was probably carved into the wall by someone, while some crazy enthusiasts suggested it was the body of an ancient giant within the mountain. The place was also famous for being haunted by the souls of these giants. Well, who knows what really lies in the unexplored depths of our planet?
Qué raro, está como con la boca chueca.
Here's another clip that featured a bizarre gaping hole open in a stone wall. But that wasn't all. A massive face seemed to be wiggling its way out, with its facial features resembling a human. Netizens thought it was one of the Nephilim from the biblical times. However, many questioned the authenticity of the clip, thinking it was probably a hoax. Cyclops Cave. Out on an exploration trip in Wales, this guy stumbled upon the Cyclops Cave, one of Cape Greco's greatest secrets. Inside, there were all kinds of statues carved into the walls. One of them stood out the most due to its unusual features. The sculpture had a single eye on its head that seemed out of place. Another unusual figure was a ghost carved posing in the shape of a crucifix. The disturbing thing about this one was that the skeletal bones looked too real, making you wonder if there was more to the cave than just stone carvings. Dating back to at least 5500 BC, the cave's very old, leading us to the big question. What could have inspired these strange figures so early in time? Bigfoot sighting. A man cruising down a recreational area on his ATV spotted something unusual. His camera picked up a dark figure standing upright behind a tree. Massive in size, the creature was covered in a thick coat of hair. It did not make any move as the guy drove down the trail, which made people think it was a prop or maybe even a part of the tree itself. But the recorder had no doubt that it was a Bigfoot, claiming he felt its eyes watching him. An encounter that close gives you the chills. Here's another Bigfoot sighting, this one captured somewhere in Russia back in 2015. A father and son out in the woods for their hunting practice felt a sudden movement in background. It was a massive bipedal creature making its way rapidly across the field. Both watched in stunned silence as it disappeared into the forest. While skeptics might be quick to call it staged, I don't think any human could run like that. It couldn't be a gorilla either, which moves on all fours. This one, however, moved on 2 feet, which leaves us with only one possibility: a Bigfoot. Mysterious ancient portal near Lake Titicaca, Peru, is this bizarre mystery, the Devil's Doorway. Also known as a Maru Muru, carved into towering red sandstone, this enigmatic portal defies explanation. Rumor has it that visitors are drawn to the site by a strange energy that's believed to come from the channels carved into its sides. Although its origins remain unknown, Amaru Muru has been a pilgrimage site for centuries, attracting travelers wanting to experience its ancient power. Labeled the Devil's Doorway by the Catholic Church, its popularity remains the same. Ancient giant skeleton. In the south of Thailand, within an ancient cave, lie the remains of a giant being, but it wasn't alone. Another set of remains, belonging to an animal, possibly a serpent-like creature, was wrapped around this strange skeleton. It looked like they were in a struggle for survival, and neither survived. There have been some speculations, and some skeptics even said that it was made by someone. It looks too real to be a fake. Glowing eyes. After a long, tiring hike, this man was met by something entirely otherworldly. A pair of glowing eyes were locked on him as he reached the summit. They seemed to be piercing from the dark background. Whatever the creature was, it continued to gaze at the man, as if stalking him. Now there was a possibility that this was a wild animal, but the guy was convinced it was not anything of this world. He reported that although it was dark, he could still see its silhouette, which hinted at a giant bipedal figure. An animal or a malevolent giant. Either way, it was quite an experience for this hiker. Cyclops skull. Workers on a farm in the Midwest stumbled upon this massive skull that puzzled them. With a large hole in the middle of its forehead, it resembled the one-eyed Cyclops from Myths.
Skeleton looked sort of human-like, only much bigger and a little stranger. Next thing you know, you have a Cyclops.
Modern science says this is a rare birth defect called cyclopia, which causes one eye socket. However, that didn't explain the giant ancient fossil they found. Folks thought there had really been enormous Cyclops monsters in the past, but soon the mystery was solved when an expert revealed that the skull belonged to an elephant, and the singular hole was where the animal's trunk had been. Bigfoot in Colorado. Sometimes the wild has secrets hidden in plain sight. While riding the sightseeing train between Durango and Silverton in Colorado, a couple saw a huge creature moving on the mountainside.
Elusive creature. My mind started racing. I was like, all right, I gotta get this on. I gotta get a clip of this.
It looked a lot like Bigfoot. When it noticed the onlookers, it quickly hid in a bush and disappeared.
I just squatted down.
The video sparked a frenzy of speculation. Some people think it's a hoax, while others believe it's real. Experts even said the creature's camouflage might be real. So, was this a real encounter? The mystery is still unsolved. fresh Bigfoot footprints.
Somebody said that there's a guy on here saying they ain't seen prints yet.
Two friends were out in the wild when suddenly they realized they might not be the only ones there. A fresh pair of hand and footprints were marked into the ground. Upon closer inspection, they found that the prints were huge. One of them even compared it to their own foot, and it clearly showed the size difference.
Can you put your foot beside of it?
Oh my God.
It's definitely bigger than our foot wide.
After careful examination, they claimed that these prints belonged to none other than the Bigfoot itself, and it might be lurking right around the corner. While many believed it was the actual thing, others suggested that it was possible that these prints belonged to a bear.
Man, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toe prints.
Mountain beast. A hunter set up a camera in the woods to check out the local wildlife, but what he captured on film left him absolutely stunned. Near his hunting blind, a massive, dark, hairy creature was lurking behind the trees. Could it be a real-life Bigfoot caught on camera? There didn't seem to be any other explanation. Skeptics suggested it might be someone in a costume, but why would anyone wear such a heavy suit and sit out in the woods for no reason? Let me know what you think of this. Cardiff Giant. Now let's go all the way back to October 16th, 1869, when workers in Cardiff, New York unearthed a massive 10-foot stone figure. People thought it was a petrified giant from ancient times, and was proof of the biblical mention of giants. Named the Cardiff Giant, this stone figure was put on display and quickly became famous. However, it was later revealed that the Cardiff Giant was just a statue crafted by a man named George Hull. Hull created it to show how easily people could be tricked. Today, the Cardiff Giant rests at the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown, New York for everyone to see. Bigfoot on a stroll. We're no strangers to Bigfoot sightings by now, but when you come across footage this natural, you're bound to wonder if they really do exist. During a drive down the hills, a father and son couldn't believe their eyes when they saw this figure. Dark brown from head to toe and walking along a dry creek bed, the creature appeared huge and bulky. No human could look like that unless they were wearing a costume, which seemed impossible as the driver shared that it was hunting season and walking around the woods, looking like that could be dangerous. So what do you think? A genuine Bigfoot sighting or just an elaborate hoax? Yeti hand. A team searching for the Yeti in the Nepali mountains encountered something unusual. Reaching the Pangbosh Monastery in Nepal, they found a Yeti's hand and its scalp. This has been preserved for decades since being discovered in 1950s. One of the fingers from the hand was taken to England for testing, and the results showed human DNA, but the monks are convinced it was a Yeti hand. But this isn't the only case of a giant humanoid being discovered on Earth. A researcher found a massive finger in an Egyptian tomb that looks nothing like a human's. It was 16 inches, which means that whoever it belonged to was at least 16 feet tall. Impossible height for humans. This discovery has only added to the mystery, leaving more questions than answers. Giant caught on Google Maps. A guy was checking out Google Maps when he found a wooded area, spotted something strange, and zoomed in on it. A giant brownish-haired figure was standing that looked eerily similar to a Bigfoot. While many viewers think it might be a hoax, there has been no proof if the sighting was real or not. Have a look at another sighting that does look real. A guy filmed this while walking across the woods. Seeing a massive dark bipedal creature walking in the distance made him stop in his tracks. Believing he had witnessed the dangerous Bigfoot, he quietly left the woods and didn't dare to go back again. Nephilim's Door.
So there it is. Nephilim Door. Stunning. Here we are in the Canyonlands, near where the Citadel was discovered in the Grand Canyon.
This clip of an apparent gate near the Grand Canyon has been going around online, and people think this is the door Nephilim used to hide from the real world. However, there's not much proof that the site is real. Enthusiasts still think it's real.
It's like 50 to 60 feet high, 14, 15 feet wide. A little weird porch on the front.
There's another mysterious gate on a mountain in Turkey, made out of a massive stone. It is thought to date back to the Hellenistic period around the 2nd century BC. What makes it even more mysterious is the inscription Ikesios on top of the gate, and no one knows what it means. There has been no archaeological investigation into what lies inside, so the site remains a complete mystery. No one knows if it's a burial site or something else entirely. Evidence of giants. In the red desert of the White Mountain in Wyoming, USA, there's something remarkable. On one of the White Stone Mountains, giant handprints are carved into the rock. These prints are believed to have been made by the indigenous people of the area. Locals think the mountain is between 200 and 1,000 years old, but the method of carving the handprints remains a mystery. One theory suggests that the prints were made in soft mud that hardened over time. Today, these rock carvings are considered highly significant and attract many visitors each day. Giants' footprints. Until now, we have seen some crazy proof of giant humanoids' existence, and although you might still think it's inadequate, there's something you need to see. Apart from remains and their pathways, people have also found various giant footprints all over the world. Here's what they found in an archaeological site in Syria. And this one's in Indonesia. I don't know about you, but these look like the real deal to me. If not real, what could have made these footprints in the stone? Let me know what you think of this. Extracting strange treasure. A treasure hunter had gotten the clue that there was a mysterious container hidden away in this cave, and surprisingly, as he searched the area, his metal detector picked up something leading the guy to a narrow cave opening. Squeezing through the tight passage, he finally managed to get his hands on the treasure. A metallic box with a strange engraving on it. Opening the box, he found some ancient relics, a book, and even some jewelry. Now that would make him some good amount of money. Trapped giant. Trekking around the woods, a tourist spotted an odd tree. Getting closer, he realized it was a face carved into the tree, almost as if it were trying to break free. The creepy spectacle was enough to freak him out, thinking something sinister was involved. As the bizarre video made rounds on the internet, a few netizens were reminded of a local legend about a giant that once roamed the woods, causing all kinds of destruction until a witch cursed him to be trapped inside a tree for eternity. Whether the legend is true or not, it sure is a scary sight to come across. Giant on trail cam. Yes, you're seeing that right. The man who set up this trail camera was shocked to see this colossal figure just standing there. Covered in thick shaggy hair with a dark human-like face, what it did next is something a human could never pull off. Moving a whole tree all on its own, the creature swept it aside. The clip spread like wildfire, with people saying this was one of the most authentic Bigfoot videos out there. While many were curious as to what it was up to, others like myself are terrified that beasts with such strength actually exist. Adam's footprint. There are many theories that suggest the existence of giant human beings, but without any solid evidence, they're just speculation. However, with a shocking discovery made in South Africa, that's all about to change.
Oh wow.
With a footprint this huge, set in stone, it's hard not to believe that Nephilim once existed here on Earth.
Look at this.
The print was set in granite. The locals have named it the footprint of Adam due to its humongous size. People have even started leaving valuables like coins in reverence of the site. Experts around the world were thrilled and have been hard at work to find more about it. Treasure trove in Mexico. Back in 2018, archaeologists started digging in a cave under the ancient Mayan city in Mexico. The whole excavation was a laborious process and took them days to reach the bottom. The hard work paid off when they found a treasure trove 24 meters underground, filled with hundreds of objects dating back centuries. Incense burners shaped like the Mayan rain god revealed valuable insights about ancient religious practices. The scientists even discovered small bones inside the relics. While this was a new development, the experts were convinced that this discovery will help them find more about the origins, lives, and beliefs of those who once lived in Chichen Itza. Mirroring Bigfoot. These myths about giant Sasquatch and ape-like creatures might be more than just stories because of this clip. In this clip, he showed a massive head covered in hair with a giant nose, an open mouth, and a thick unibrow. He even revealed the exposed spinal cord at the back, saying it was evidence of the creature's existence. The internet went wild. Judging by the way he was explaining everything, enthusiasts were convinced it was the real deal, while skeptics doubted it, saying that preserving such remains would be nearly impossible. What do you think? Could this be the proof we've been waiting for? Ancient treasure. Deep inside a valley, a treasure hunter was on the lookout for a shocking discovery. Soon enough, his metal detector gave out a signal. Getting his tools out, he immediately began to excavate the area. Two strange manholes appeared in the dirt, one of them bearing the sign of a cross. He removed the covers to find exactly what he had hoped for, an ancient treasure. Pieces of jewelry and trinkets that looked like they would fetch a high price. So the next time you're strapped for cash, it won't be a bad idea to get a metal detector and go exploring. You might even get lucky. Lost City of Giants. A few years back, archaeologists in Ethiopia found a forgotten city believed to date back as far as the 10th century AD. Artifacts from Egypt, India, and China have been found in the city, suggesting that Ethiopia was more connected to the world than previously thought. Further excavations revealed that it was a rich cosmopolitan center for jewelry making. That aside, there's a local myth about the area, that it was occupied by giants because the buildings and walls were constructed with large stone blocks, which could not have been lifted by ordinary humans. And even though the archaeologists have found no evidence of giants, locals are convinced of their existence. Giant's tooth found.
That's a tooth. Huge. It's a big one.
Back in the 1930s in Steelville, a giant skeleton over 8 feet in length was reportedly found in a cave, but the entire incident was very mysterious. Fast forward to 2014, two curious scientists looking for clues in the cave stumbled upon something that could be a game changer. Something white was peeking out of the debris. It turned out to be a tooth, and a huge one at that. They started speculating what creature belonged to and ultimately reached the conclusion that it was a human incisor. The internet was abuzz with excitement, while a few people weren't convinced, saying that they needed to get it tested before making any kind of judgment. Red-haired giants. Back in 1911, two miners made an unexpected discovery in the Lovelock Cave. They found numerous unidentified remains, some of which were abnormally large. And one of the strangest things about this discovery was that 4 large skulls were found with red hair. There were also unusually sized artifacts in the cave as well, sandals that were 15 inches long, which would fit someone who was at least 9 feet tall, and even a giant piece of clothing. If you're still having doubts, there's also a local legend that proves their existence. I guess there's a lot we don't know about our own history. Giants of West Virginia. Something strange has been discovered in the ancient burial mounds of West Virginia. Giant skeletons about 8 feet in length. People thought that it was a race of giants that lived here in prehistoric times. But experts said it's just a myth, and these people most likely had hormonal disorders like gigantism. While this could be the case, we cannot completely rule out the existence of giants in West Virginia until further testing proves otherwise. Proof of extinct giants. Back in 2018, a Harvard genetics study revealed a stunning discovery. The ancient Britons who built Stonehenge vanished almost entirely from the British Isles, leaving no DNA in modern Bretona. This suggested a mysterious population turnover. Another genetic mystery, the X lineage, was identified in Native American and Northern European groups with no ancestral link. Some linked it to the 19th century findings of oversized skeletons in West Virginia, suggesting a lost race of giants. But for the most part, it remains a mystery, extraterrestrial influence, or something even more unimaginable. What's your take on this one? Archaeological evidence. A Middle Eastern farmer plowing his fields made a discovery that rocked the world of archaeology. A hoard of metal tools and objects were accidentally uncovered by his machines, out of which there were some unusual hunting tools. There were 4 massive spearheads estimated to be 4,300 to 5,000 years old. The smallest of them was 13 inches long, which was larger than the typical spearheads from the Bronze Age. The biggest one was 30 inches and has been compared to the biblical reference to giants, which mentions the large arms they used. The religious community is convinced that this archaeological find is evidence of the biblical giants, whereas experts remain unsure. Giant tools. A startling discovery was made during the excavation of the Tomio Maruyama burial mound. It was a massive sword measuring almost 8 ft, but the experts suspect it was originally 9 ft long. The internet was abuzz with speculation as netizens believed it was enough proof of the existence of giants, while others suggested it could be a ceremonial blade. A sword wielded by Nephilim or a decorative piece? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Sent to us by one of our subscribers, this picture showed a giant supposedly living in a cave on a mountain in Mexico. There's also a video shared on social media where a strange humanoid figure was seen sitting near the cave entrance. People speculated that it might be a giant taking shelter, but many dismissed it as a hoax due to the poor video quality. It seems like many of these sightings are blurry and unclear, but considering what we have seen, this could be just as real as the others. This sighting is still a mystery, but crazy how they have become more famous than ever. See you next time.